Hello everyone, this is Becca from Willow Hill Designs, and today I'm sharing some happy mail that I received from Barbie from Nellie and Ruth Designs. And I'll just adjust this a little bit, my camera. And I had sent her a little something in the mail. I had made some mug rugs for her. She said she had a few little things for me, and so I had made some mug rugs and I had sent them to her, and they were done kind of in this style where they were just like little crazy quilts. These are little crazy quilt blocks that I'll be making a quilt out of, but they were done similar to this, and they were larger, and they were done in an Adirondack theme. So I had mailed those off to her, and I was very surprised to receive this large box in the mail, which I did open. I just was so surprised to receive it. I thought I would receive an envelope in the mail, but there was this very large box on my steps. And so I did go through it. I apologize, but I'll begin to share what was in this happy mail box. So let's see. First there was this baggie with lots of different lace and things in there. I'll put this baggie over here. And there was some sari silk in there, some very pretty ivory sari silk, which I know will be so pretty on some stitching projects, slow stitch projects, and a little piece of some sort of a fiber with little sparkles in it, little pink and blue. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I thought that was so pretty. Will come in handy for a slow stitch project. And some more sari silk here, a little bit deeper than this one. And then some sari silk with some wonderful splotches of color on it that might look like flowers or just anything. So pretty, even pretty to make bows out of or tie something up, something special. So I love that. And then there was this eyelet lace in here, and this seems like someone was making something round and then putting a ruffle around it. So there's this ruffled eyelet lace, and so lots and lots of that. But if you took the ruffling out, it would lay as a flat piece of lace. So I thought that was very pretty, and it's kind of either a very pale yellow, I'm not sure if that's coming through, a very pale yellow, or a sort of an ecru color. I think it's a pale yellow though. And there's some more of that as well. This is a heart that was cut out, a heart shape. Let me move that so that you can see that was a heart shape. So that's very pretty. You could still cut a heart, just go beyond this little cutout here. So I thought that was very pretty. That could be a very something pretty on a journal cover, or something in a page of a journal. And then there is this lace. I don't know if you would call this maybe a dresser scarf or something like that. Maybe a dresser scarf. And very pretty motifs in it that could be used again, maybe on the spine of a book or on the cover of a book coming down. So that was very pretty to put in my stash of go-tos for creating. And here is some more of that eyelet fabric. I think this is the other heart that was in there. This heart is whole. And then there's some other pieces here. And I think that is a pale yellow. So that's very pretty. I mean, you could even make a little doll blanket out of that with another fabric. And here's a very pretty lace that can be gathered. Or again, you could use a portion of that on a cover. So I thought that was very pretty also. That seems to go with that pale yellow, although it is a little different color. And then there is this, I think this is a piece of a curtain because it's hemmed on two sides, or it might be a piece of a tablecloth, I'm not sure. But this has a very pretty scalloped edge at the bottom and some very pretty motifs that can be cut out. I can imagine using these in slow stitch projects. Here's a pretty flower here. So yeah, and that's quite a nice big piece too of lace. So that was that bag. And then there was this large bag of doilies or other crocheted items. So there's this doily, which is very pretty. And again, I can picture that on the spine of a book wrapping around. I'm actually doing a slow stitch project that is part of a quilt that would look very pretty on. And here's another doily that's larger. You could even layer with something in between. And here's another one. I think that's pretty similar to that. Yes, I think these are the same. So this one's a little different. This is a little different one. That edging is different. This has not a picot, but it has stitches that make a fan or a shell around the edge, a little bit different than this one. So that's another pretty and similar in size. And this is something that someone crocheted, maybe part of a dresser scarf, I'm thinking. That's been cut. So that's pretty. These could be used. These almost make you think of snowflakes. This edging could be used. Very pretty, and there's lots of that here as well. So that's beautiful, and I'm pretty sure this is not machine done. That looks like it's been hand done. And then there's this, which looks to me to be part of another, maybe a circular, maybe a tablecloth or something. Isn't that so pretty? Look at these little motifs here. I think they're gorgeous. I would put that on that slow stitching project that I'm working on now. And this, look at how pretty that is, to cut that and use the semicircle, and also this edge as well. Again, these scallops, how pretty. Oh my goodness, these will last me a lifetime, all of these goodies, I'm sure. that I will not get to use them all. I'm working on a slow stitch project and a collage project in my son's quilt, which is really absorbing most of my time. I've been trying to get the mountains right in this quilt, trying to get them to look, the further ones in the distance, very pale and gray, and that's been taking a lot of my time. But anyway, here's another piece of a doily that someone has crocheted, and look at the colors in this. Makes you think of spring flowers, and I don't know, almost like little pansies or Johnny Jump Up, something like that. Such pretty little flowers on there, very colorful. And here's another one, another kind of a circular, well, it is circular, doily. I don't know why this makes me think of Something Under the Sea, but it does. If you had a project with something under the sea as a theme, this makes me think of the different seaweeds and everything waving in the currents. And look at this, how pretty, almost like a checkerboard that expands out. So pretty. In an unusual color, almost a very pale maize kind of a color. Another very pretty piece. And this little circular kind of doily with pineapples on it. My mom used to make lots of these. She made some really beautiful ones. And look at this. It makes you think almost of a poinsettia. On leaves, you could use the leaves in this, in a slow stitch project. And this as well, this scalloping around. How pretty. I love anything like this. So that is the, I think the doilies portion for the most part. And then she sent some patterns, some old patterns. And these make me think of the patterns I used to make for my children, my girls, and my son as well. I don't know if there's a date on these or not. Let's see. New York. No, I don't see a date. 65 cents, so I guess that would give us an idea. But look at how cute, and all the pattern pieces that are in there. There's a quilter, a collage quilter artist. I can't think of her name right now. Her name escapes me, but she built a studio behind her home in Maine, and she did the whole floor. She decoupaged the whole floor with pattern pieces, and then they varnished over it. It's really very unusual. Isn't this adorable? And this looks like real oldies, maybe the 50s or 60s, I'm guessing. How sweet. I actually have a little granddaughter that these would probably be cute for. But, I mean, and even the images on here, I would hate to cut the package, but, I mean, you could use the images. They're so adorable. I remember coats like this, actually. How sweet. And look at this one. Somebody had lots of, I've never heard of this. Advance. Simplicity, yes. But Advance, I've never heard of that. 35 cents. So that must be an oldie. Real oldie. How pretty. Oh, it's a girl's slip. Does anyone wear slips anymore? I do. I like to wear slips. especially half slips with skirts and things. I don't know, is that TMI? And look at this. First of all, isn't that just gorgeous, just the way it is? So pretty. But this is all sari silk. And this has all of those pretty colors in there, all of those gorgeous colors. I could picture silk flowers made out of these, or anything. I mean, you could even weave with this. You could do lots of things. That's so pretty, and I love the way the hank is twisted like that. Just that in itself is like a little work of art. And this was some wrapping paper that was included in here. Something was wrapped in that, I think the journal, but I thought I'll save this paper because that might come in handy for something. I tend to, if I like a wrapping paper, I will save it. My daughter had some birch wrapping paper, and I saved the pieces of it because I love it. And this is the journal that she sent in this package. Isn't that beautiful? Brimfield Hotel, Massachusetts. And look at this fussy cut piece on it, and these buckles, and some sari silk. And look at the interesting pages here, and the little cards for journaling, writing something special. Look at that, how pretty. The images on that. I just love it. More room for journaling. And look at this pretty yellow flower. Makes me think of a daffodil. And I love the tabs on here. And let's see. Oh, this is a little pocket, I think. Or, oh no, maybe not. Does this come out? I'm not sure. No. What does this say on here? Friendship with oneself is all important because without it, one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. Eleanor Roosevelt. Isn't that so pretty? And these little pieces of embroidery, ribbon embroidery, and some rose ribbon embroidery. Victorian ladies here. Look at these images. I love how Barbie does that. More journaling spots to write some special things. I love this background paper too. Here's another one like that other pocket. What does this say? What is thine is mine, and all mine is thine, by Plautus. What pretty images. And this, another one. I just love all of this vintage looking ephemera and beautiful images here. There's a silk rose here, and there's a beautiful delicate little flower here with lacy daisy and some ribbon embroidery. Wow, 1916. My goodness, that was the year before my mother was born. She was born in 1917. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? And two journaling spots here. Such pretty images on there. And here's another. And the butterflies. Friendship is a Sheltering Tree by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And look at this, another little journaling card. And I just love the way it looks. Some journaling on here and a little tuck spot. Look at this, how pretty. I like that ripped edge along the background paper there. All the little touches on this little image here. all of it, all of this, the way it's torn and inked to look so vintagey, just beautiful. And then the back. Isn't that just a beautiful journal? So thank you, Barbie, for that. That's beautiful. I think that's my first journal of that type. Let's see. So here is lots and lots and lots of fabrics. I won't go through them all because otherwise we'll be here all day. I'm up to 20 minutes. Lots of different fabrics to use in slow stitching. This one in particular I pulled out because my little granddaughter Jenna will love that, or Mia, either one. Look at this. I'll just show some of, I'll just highlight some of them. This almost makes you think of an iCat fabric. How different and pretty. And look at these with the vintage, vintage simplicity ladies on there. Isn't that so pretty? I have something similar to this, but not this one, and I love that. Look at this, another. Wouldn't they make interesting quilts or bags? This looks like maybe women from the 50s, I'm guessing. Maybe. How interesting is that? And more patterns, and I just love these styles. They're so chic looking. Look at the lines on these dresses. And here's another with simplicity patterns. I have something similar to this. Barbie and I have the same taste in fabrics. Aren't they so interesting? And all of these goodies, little pieces of fabric. Look at this one. I really love that. All of these little goodies, snippets of fabric, roosters. Oh my goodness, I love roosters. Oh, love this. That will come in so handy. This is cute. Almost makes you think of cue balls. That will come in handy for slow stitching. And there was this little bag in there, which has some, I was going to put this in with my lace, and I wanted to wait until I did this video, but isn't that pretty? Isn't that a pretty little delicate lace? And there's some trim also in there. I should take it out of the bag because it's probably a little glare. Look at this, little apples, I think they are, or tomatoes, maybe on a vine. How pretty is that? And look at this. I had just bought some cross-stitch looking fabric from Lori Holt. Isn't that beautiful? But this looks vintage. This is really very pretty. Little snippet of that. That's a special little package in there. Let's see. And this, which was wrapped with sari silk ribbons. Aren't they beautiful? I couldn't imagine what was in here, and what's holding it all together is a, looks to be like a dresser scarf. Look at that. How pretty is that? Look at the embroidery on that. Machine embroidered. So pretty. What could I use that for? Thinking. And some more gorgeous crocheted. This looks like it might have been a tablecloth, I'm guessing. But just look at that. Isn't that interesting? Look at these. Could cut those out, could cut that. I mean, as much as you hate to cut this, you could cut that. line and use that scalloped edge in something. Look at these. These, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess it's a hexagon here. Could put that over something or a color to make that pop. But isn't that beautiful? Just looking at the pile of it, I could see just putting that in a basket and just letting it look like that in a basket. I actually have some cloths that my grandmother made where she would pull the threads and then stitch in between and have it in her egg gathering basket, actually. But I think that would be very pretty in a basket. And look at this, another. Oh, look at these little tiny motifs. Oh my goodness, these are going to have to go on the project I'm working on now. Aren't they beautiful? And again, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this was probably done with a 0 or a 1 crochet hook. Must be a tablecloth, but look at how beautiful is that. So many motifs in here. I mean, you could really, that will really last a lifetime. Excuse me, how beautiful. Again, I could picture that in a basket as well. Just sitting in a basket with little edges hanging out. Wouldn't that be pretty? So, 2 beautiful lace tablecloths in a dresser scarf. And I thought this was like the clown car at the circus. I thought this was like a little bottomless box. The goodies just keep coming. And this is from one of Barbie's neighbors. I think she said Char. But isn't this interesting fabric? Love the colors. I don't know what that is. It's very stiff. But how beautiful is that? That would be pretty on a cover of something as well. And this weaving, I die for that. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? Woven. Just love that. I absolutely love these colors. I'd have to maybe stay stitch those edges or do something to preserve that, but isn't that so pretty and different? And there's lots of pieces, so I wonder what she was making. I wonder what, here's the selvage edge. You can tell where it's bound off. And that almost makes you think of those poodle hair jackets. I wonder what she was making, if it was a shawl. Here's some other pieces. Or maybe a cushion cover, although that looks rounded. Maybe a cover for a pillow. And look at this. This is a tighter weave. How unusual. And pretty. And another piece of that with more blue in it. And look at this. I'm not sure if this is woven. I'm guessing it is. So unusual. That's different. This looks like that fabric in the beginning. And this looks almost like a matelassé, I would say. Something like that. Makes you think of mountains. That's different. And this, look at how pretty. Ooh, love those colors. Isn't that pretty? And another piece of that. This almost makes me think of a Madras plaid, which was very popular, I think, in the 60s. Then there was this wonderful little envelope with some handmade notepads. Aren't they beautiful? They will be right in my sewing room where I can jot down my little notes for things that I'm making. I'm not trying to rush through these, but I am at 30 minutes. That's a long one for me. And look at these two little zipper pouches made with patterns. Oh my goodness. And they're all plasticized. And you could put your sewing goodies in there, or your makeup, or little toys or things for the kids to play with when you're in the car, or I think of in church where I tuck some toys for my little grandchildren. These are some digitals I won't show. Barbie said not to show those, so but she gave me some digitals also for collage, because those are other people's creations. And lastly, but not least, on the very bottom are some books. And I actually remember this in a magazine, seeing this quilt. I had actually torn that out, but this has some interesting images in here. I should move that a bit. This has some interesting images in here if you wanted to cut them out. There's some recipes. Those cookies look good, don't they? And, oh, lots of recipes. And things, I guess, that you could make if you'd like to still make them. There's patterns in here and different interesting pictures. This I remember seeing in a magazine. It was probably the first pictorial quilt that I had become aware of, and now I make lots of these. I love to make quilts like that are landscapes or a place. And this is another quilt book. Oh, there's a shine on that. This is by Debbie Mum. And this has some interesting pictures in there that could be used. I remember when Debbie Mum was very, very popular. I'm not sure if she's still designing fabric or not. Log cabin style quilt with fruit in it. That's a picture of her, of Debbie Mum. Whoop, sorry for the glare. Here I am busy looking and I'm not paying attention. That's an interesting looking quilt. If you wanted to get rid of all of your little scraps, that would be fun. So lots of interesting things in both of these books. So I just would like to say thank you very much to Barbie. I guess I'll leave these images here as I'm saying goodbye. Just these pretty gorgeous pieces of tablecloth and lace. So thank you very much for joining me to see this really sweet Happy Mail haul. And thank you very much, Barbie from Nellie and Ruth Designs. Go on over to her YouTube channel under Nellie and Ruth Designs and check out what she does. She does some beautiful collage work and all sorts of things, all different tutorials, and check out her work. It's really beautiful. So thank you for your generosity, Barbie, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.